and they might have a overlapping territory, but other than that, we don't know a lot about it. So the opportunity is there for us to work with conservation partners, and we're very excited about having those opportunities because we're like animals in wild health plus their territory in the zoo. Marsupial, but he was raised in a pouch, he doesn't have one. All right. I have with me a tail and 2 feet. It's a Joey. Joey, how you doing? A Joey is a catch-all term for a baby marsupial. So being that this is a Joey, it's very nondescript. Anybody know what kind of Joey? There we go. There's my little rock star. You want to see him over here? This is a 10-month-old red kangaroo. Now you look at this gray fur and you think, why in the world do you call him a red kangaroo, Rick? He's clearly gray. Well, there are 2 different species of kangaroos. One's called the red kangaroo, one's called the gray kangaroo. And the funny thing is, gray kangaroos can be red and red kangaroos can be gray. So why they call them by specific color names, I don't know, because it does never seem to work that way. But they are truly 2 different species. Now some cool things about kangaroos. Giant back feet. Well, you might notice too, one giant toe that almost looks like just an extension of that entire leg with little toes on either side. Now they hop. They hop. Who said hop? All the blue shirts said hop. Who's in charge of the blue shirts? They're terribly smart. Well done. Well done. Gold star for whenever you take your koala with you, you actually have to take several pounds of eucalyptus with you. Because they always have to eat when they want to. And they always eat fresh, so you notice it's starting to wilt a little bit here. So therefore, we're going to change it out and keep it fresh for him. Yes, he's napping, but should he wake up from his nap and not have fresh browse, we would not be doing our job. We like to spoil our koalas. There he goes. See how he's using that front foot there? I'll turn it out of the way here so you guys can see. He's going to use that front hand, or front foot, almost like a hand. You might notice as he moves his front limbs around, instead of having 4 fingers and a thumb, their split is actually, will be considered between our 2 fingers. So it's almost like he has 2 thumbs and 3 fingers together this way. Very important for their grip and their ability to climb, but can also be very useful in bringing the limbs to the mouth to go ahead and eat like that.
I know. Yeah, I think it's
Crested cockatoo. Sulphur crested would be yellow, not red king. So the Moluccan cockatoo is not actually found in Australia. They're found in the islands just to the north of Australia. But there are cockatoos found all throughout Australia. In fact, again, going back to my time in Australia when we were there doing koala research, she saw that bird. You see her kick her head like that. There's a bird flying over right now, so she's keeping an eye on that bird of prey. So as these cockatoos are all flying around near our research area, they are gorgeous as they fly in. They've got these beautiful wings with a yellow tint to them. The sun comes through that. It looks like a bunch of angels, about 30 or 40 of them flying in. They land and they roost, they start to do their calls, and they sound like demons. They're so very loud, and they're screaming like banshees. And like, please, tell you water. You see these seagulls? Can you show how loud you are? Can you show how loud you are?
Can he see past you there?
Death grips. But if you look at the parrot family, cockatoos, Amazon parrots, macaws, anybody saw the movie Rio? They did it wrong in that movie. They did 3 toes in the front, 1 in the back. Just stick with the details when you work with animals. But the zygodactyl foot, or 2 toes in the front, 2 in the back, are very important. Imagine if you had another thumb on the other side of your hand. You would have one of the best grips for doing monkey bars, right? Okay with that? So what's important for parrots to have zygodactyl feet is the sense that they do fly from tree to tree, but they spend a lot of time climbing around in the trees because they're getting a lot of fruits and nuts and different things off the tree. So being able to climb and have a good grip is very important.
Yeah, that's
Comes away.
Do you have room for hands?
That said, they could do visual displays, but really after their 2nd or 3rd tree away, that visual display wouldn't be very effective to say this is my territory. Now they could scent mark, I suppose, if they had stinky stuff to mark their territory with, but they don't have a sense of smell. So that wouldn't work very well for other kookaburras to know it's their territory. So that loud call that you did not hear is what they would do to mark their territory and let others know this is where they live. Now they are part of the kingfisher family. Even if the wind is blowing, they'll lock in on their prey item, which could be a fish down in the water, or even maybe a small mammal or a reptile or amphibian. they'll fly opposite direction of where that prey item is to gain some altitude, get right above it, and dive straight down if it's a fish, and they'll hit that water and not make a splash. Pretty good sized bird not to make a splash. But the structure of their beak and the way the beak goes into the head allows for them to enter the water, separating the surface tension without creating a splash, which is pretty impressive. So they'll actually swallow a whole snake in one bite. Hard to believe a big snake could fit in one of these guys' bellies, but there's more room in there than you might suspect. So they do quite well for themselves. Yes, what's your question? Gosh, how old these guys are? Probably close to 7 and 8 years old at this point. Yeah, they've been around for a while. Are you going to do the call? All right, we'll try one more time, and if they do not make their call, we'll move on to that poisonous toad. Ready? You guys going to roll your R's with me? 1, 2, 3. Almost. You guys did a great job. Is small for his species. The cane toad, also known as the Syriama marine toad, can get as big as a dinner plate when not inflating with air. Look at it puff up. And when they puff up, those big guys can be the size of a volleyball with legs. I kid you not, they get huge. Look how big he's getting. Even bigger. I know, so I'm not lying. I'm serious. I'm not making it up. It's not a magic trick. Now what's interesting is we're talking about Australia. We're talking about Australian animals and how rare they are. And guess what? Not an Australian native. Not rare in Australia. Back in the early 1900s, there was a huge problem with these beetles eating all the sugarcane in Australia. So they're like, you know what, we heard about this toad in South America that eats everything. Let's bring them into the sugarcane fields. They'll wipe out the beetles and we'll be done with it. We won't have to worry about it. They brought in a bunch of cane toads about 1920s, 1930s, and no one told the cane toads what they were supposed to eat, so they ate everything. About the big nose for smelling where other koalas have been because they do scent mark to mark their territory, and ears because they bellow. They make a very loud guttural sound. This sounds like the biggest backed up garbage disposable. Where are you gonna go, Peaches? Peaches says it's time to talk about her. What about me? What about me, huh? You know? All right, everybody, a nice quiet round of applause for Burley. A quiet round of applause. It really truly is a special honor.